Love this team. All right, let's shift gears to the defensive side of the ball. And Tim, you got some really good shots here from the sideline. Then we'll get into what happened on the defensive side of the ball and kind of who flashed. I know you were down there with the position group. This is the D line group, obviously getting some work in. I'll crank the volume when you're ready for it, but you see them. I'll fast forward a little bit because they're just kind of getting the sleds ready here, aren't they?
Yeah, you can.
To me here,
it's actually kind of interesting because these are the boys coming over. There's Rashawn kind of welcoming everyone over, but you can just kind of get, if you want to run the volume, you can kind of get the energy that this unit has together as you see everybody playing.
There you go. Oh yeah, look at OV and got that handshake with Gary. Covington's got them boys buzzing, don't he?
I'm telling you, and they're all focused. It's not – Coach Covington commands attention. You never see anybody looking off, and if somebody is, they're going to get chewed out immediately by Rashawn Gary or somebody else. But they move as a unit.
Tim with the perfect camera angle. We got to watch this again. I'm going to crank the volume. Everybody on the podcast.
Language alert. There might be – I don't think so. I think this one's pretty clean. But you've got VO here on the left telling everybody to break the sled again. It's awesome.
Have the FCC write me a letter. We're going to let this one slide, all right?
Let it run.
So you're basically, for everybody on the pod that can't see this, you got 4 defensive linemen, right? 2 on each side. They're going to smack the sled, and then one is going to punch the ball out while the other focuses on recovering it, right? This is a really cool drill. Let's listen to the sound full volume here.
Break it down. Good. Knock it back. That's it. All together. All together. I like it. Another good group. How violent can you be? Here we go. Get it under control. That's it. Here we go.
Oh,
I love Coach Ogabasi, man. How violent can you be? Be violent with them hands. Violent.
Oh, that's great footage.
These guys are humming, man. They're clicking. This D-line group, once they iron out these kinks, it's going to be fun to watch these boys up front this year.
Now, here's another one. I might have gotten them backwards. Just talk to me here, Tim. What do we got here with that? I guess the defensive line gets set.
This looks like one-on-ones. This was the beginning of practice. Coach Covington giving some direction, I believe. Yeah. It's kind of tough to see. That's Rashawn and Kenny probably, or who is that? Esther doing a rep. Yeah.
98.
Yep. You got O'Malley, the new addition here.
Yep.
Getting some work in. Devontae Wyatt. Yeah. Looks like it was just some one-on-one, just kind of really this is the first thing they did today when they hit
getting loose.
Yep.
And remember, I mean, like after they get done with practice, their day's not over, right? They got to go into meetings. They got team. They got positional. They have then they probably got to hit the gym. It's not like it's just 10 o'clock. I'm done for the day.
Right.
That's right.
Great point. All right, we got another clip from you here, Tim. Talk to me on this one. Let me know what we're looking at here. It says outside release. That sound familiar?
Okay, so this is great. I'll set this one up. You can hear this one too, and you'll hear Rashawn screaming at the guys. But basically, they're working on outside release, and it's kind of off the screen. I'm not sure who those two are on the far left, but somebody did an inside release. And every single guy on the D line screamed and called it out, and the coaches called it out, and they corrected it, and they moved forward with the drill together. It's pretty cool.
Let's play here. Language alert, maybe.
Oh, it's LVN. Look.
Yeah. Let's go. All right, looking like a monster.
He does.
Yeah, you heard Rashawn in the background with a few choice words.
Yeah.
That stuff better be immaculate, he was saying, walking up and down the line. Just so cool to it's a blessing even to get this close, to just be able to get stuff like this, man. It's so cool.
Yeah. And was it Clint in the chat says Covington was a good hire. Emilio, this is a great hire, dude. This
Great
dude,
hire.
He is shaking things up big time, man.
Love it. And it's just, it doesn't have to be the same thing, right? He's coming from New England. He's got different techniques, different things, bringing a different energy. I mean, just showing up, having the, the drive, pushing these guys, every little bit that he's done for them, it seems to be paying off, man. And I love the energy, love to see it. I'm excited to see all starters out there, right? And see kind of what that front four can do when they get into a game situation. Because if we can bring pressure with 4, if he's able to get these guys to bring us pressure with 4, it's going to be a long season for everybody else. I'm telling you.
We kept saying something felt different, right? Something's different down there with that group this year. And it's like, we got the Ball King and we got Coach Ogabasi. Well, they were here last year. The difference is Coach DeMarcus Covington with this D-line group. I think that's what it, like, Emilio, to your point, it's like he's got these guys clicking. It's just an absolute smash home run of a hire, I think, for this staff.
Yeah, we got DJ in the chat. It's Trucker John's boy. Says
DJ, what's up? Saw him out there today.
Yeah, got the hangout, right?
Yeah.
He says, I think Oladapo takes a step forward this year, and it's going to be scary to see someone that big in the secondary if he can improve. He had a good game last week, right? Didn't he have like a 72 PFF grade, I think? So looked pretty solid, man. We're deep. We are deep at safety. There's no two ways about that. Good to see you in here, DJ. So another update here. Wes Hockwitz says Brenton Cox Jr. had a nice bull rush versus Tom in one-on-ones. Also beat Banks. That's B Banks, not Aaron Banks. Aaron Banks was out today. Inside. Powerful, quick dude. So Brenton Cox Jr. continuing to impress at training camp. It seems like him and LVN both have taken a step forward. And listen, it's a rising tide raises all ships, right? Like you look at LVN, you think LVN isn't looking over his shoulder at Brenton Cox Jr. like this dude's right on my heels. It's time to take this job and not give any kind of daylight whatsoever to give up any meaningful reps. I think they're going to push each other for sure. Morgan acquitted himself well. I'm seeing that right. Versus Brooks at left guard. Good battle between Ryan and Wyatt too. So Sean Ryan is quickly becoming one of my more appreciated Packers. I don't know how you feel about that, Emilio. Like the fact that he's your backup center now. If we were having to depend on Jacob Monk as our backup center, I would be terrified right now. Honestly, I don't think they would put him in. I think they would just kick Tom over and adjust, But Sean is going to be valuable this year, is he not?
Yeah, we've been saying that. I think from the beginning that Tom is our break glass in case of emergency center. I just don't think it's Monk right now. Nothing against him. It's just not – it's not there yet. And, yeah, Sean Ryan, I think he's got to be – one of the most key guys on the inside. I mean, he's playing all 3 inside spots. That's a really key dude coming in on this whole line, coming into the season already a little bit banged up, right? So I'm hoping that everybody stays, knock on wood, good to go from here on out. But yeah, Sean Ryan has stepped up. We've talked about him coming from a tough spot when he first got in the league, and he's put his head down and worked hard, and that's what we like to see on this team. And he's making a name for himself because of it.
Yeah. Wes Hockwitz tweeted out, Adrian Cooper out of a cannon off the weak side for a sack and to move the ball. That's the other thing I wanted to say, too, with the Micah Parsons stuff. I wanted to say we got Micah Parsons at home. That whole mean. Because, honestly, this is how Micah Parsons' career started, was playing stackbacker and them firing him on some of those mock blitzes, some of those scrapes, those twists up front. And I'm not saying they should eventually put Adrian Cooper to edge. I think you keep him at stackbacker, right? But that's the other thing. Someone had said, I would be willing to trade Adrian Cooper for Micah Parsons. What are we talking about here? And here's the other thing. Let me mention this. Not to bring it completely back around, but since we're talking Adrian Cooper. Those picks turn into players. So this is the way I like to look at potential trades of draft picks. If you're willing to give up 2 firsts and a second for Micah Parsons, this is what I hear in my mind. Because nobody plans on busting on picks. You plan on hitting on every pick that you possibly can, right? Nobody's going to go, it don't matter if this shakes out. They're doing their due diligence. Scouting department staying up all hours of the night to make sure they try to get this pick right.
Right.
Would you be willing to trade with what we got now? I'm going to ask everybody in the chat, yes or no. Matthew Golden. Would you trade Matthew Golden Lucas Van Ness, and Adrian Cooper for Micah Parsons.
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked. And then
That's the first. You understand what I'm saying? Like those picks turn into players. Yep. And that's where, and I know there's going to be people, think of the bus, think of the misses. That's correct. But you're going to miss on picks. You're going to. The fact that you would be willing to trade Matthew Golden, LVN, and Adrian Cooper for Micah Parsons, I'm sorry, man. You're insane if that's the case.
You could even do Quay, Devontae Wyatt, and Christian Watson. Maybe you have a little bit more of a case there because people don't like Quay, but I would think either way. Yeah, I wouldn't do it either. That's what I'm saying. Like we've been.
I'm not going to. So quit asking.
Thank you, Nick, because we've been blessed with what we have at inside back. I mean, we got 2 dogs at defense. Everybody can't wait for Christian to come back. You take your pick there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you check on the poll, Clay, in YouTube, or do you want to do that at the end?
Let me look here. Now I got it right here. We got 93 votes. 87% said no. Only 13% said yes to the trade. So, and that's how it was on X. That doesn't surprise me at all. And I hope they mention that when they talk about it again, just to kind of at least be like, wow, okay, we disagree with a large majority of the fans.
Right, they can just mention PTA while they're talking about it. That's fine.
they're not going to do that, so quit asking. So, no, but the reason that I bring that up with the trade and everything, and I expected the fans, maybe not 87-13, but I expected, maybe 60-70% of the fans to agree with them. And it really made me go, I got a lot of faith in this fan base right now. Like they were like, no, absolutely not. Because it got pretty colorful in there. That's why I kind of felt bad. Like the goal wasn't, and that's why I'm glad I didn't tag him, because it was like, it wasn't just I'm going to pass. It was like, y'all have lost your damn mind type responses, So anyway, let's see. Moving along here, Gary pressure on Malik Willis to break up a screen for Josh Jacobs. So Gary flashing a little bit there on the screen pass. Javon Bullard breaks up a pass for Dobbs off a play action 2 plays later. So Bullard showing up a little bit today. You'd love to see that happen, man.
We were talking about Musgrave on the offensive side of the ball having a good camp as of late, right? And same thing with Javon Bullard. He's really come on these last couple of weeks.
No, and if he turns into you ain't even got to be like a top 10 slot defender. If he last year in the slot, I feel comfortable saying he was starting quality in the slot, not at safety. I want to be very clear.
Yeah.
I think he played cheeks at safety. That's just me personally. In the slot, I think he would have been you would have considered him a starting caliber slot defender, because yes, he doesn't cover vertically very well. He doesn't cover flag routes and corners and things like that well. Right. But boy, oh boy, anything underneath and his extra run fit there out of the slot, that really, really helped the run.
And he does not. I mean, he is not afraid to throw a shoulder. Like that man will tackle somebody. And it was. I saw a clip the other day. I should have sent it to the group, but it was textbook tackle, and they were using Bullard's tape. I think it was on a Florida guy, but just came in and stuck the dude. And it's like, yeah, that's what we brought him in for. And even so, he'd be a top 32 slot. Shoot, he'd probably be a top 90 safety. So I mean, it's not like he is. I wouldn't say he's obviously probably not 64, but I would say he could probably fit in there as the third rotation safety. But I've also pulled for Bull because I feel like they ask him to do a lot going from safety to slot all the time.
Yeah. And Tim, like you said, man, you kind of feel like Bullard's almost like a linebacker trapped in a cornerback's body, right? Like that's how he plays the game. I think that's a good description because he does play very physical in that regard.
Yeah, and you love to see it, right? It's just that sometimes the coverage suffers, and there's tit for tat in any kind of development of a player. Like Emilio saying, when you're looking at the sliders, the scale, that's a great way to do it. But I've always felt that he's definitely a linebacker trapped in a safety's body. But he's got that physicality, and I'm with you, Clay. I think slot corner is the strong spot for him.
And Tim,
thick.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
The originator of that clip right there.
It really was, yeah. Wes Hykes also tweeted out, Lucas Van Ness bust through for a tackle for a loss of Jacobs in 11-on-11. So LVN continued.
Here's a guy.
That dude, man. I want him to, I'm going to pull so many receipts from last year if LVN blows up this year, dude. I'm just petty enough. I'm going to go to the other. Start deleting them now. If you hear my voice and you were bashing LVN, do yourself a favor. Start deleting the tweets now because I'm pulling the receivos, baby. I'm going to break. It's going to look like a damn CVS receipt. That thing going to have
the one that folds 6 times and then hand it to you.
I want him to blow up so bad because he just kind of waited his turn and they've had him in heavy rotation, just kind of off in the – and then like Ryan pointed out on his pod, second half of last season, he started to flash. We got excited on this show, which I'm taking it back to Wildy and Tausch, where it's like some fans said that we were watching the pass rush going, they're doing exactly what they were asked to do to play within the scheme. LVN's pressure rate started to skyrocket in the second half of the year. And you could tell – they seen something in practice. They seen something where they're like, let's just go ahead and move on from Preston Smith. Let's start to turn LVN loose a little bit more. So also I want to mention Willis hit Musgrave on a crosser the previous play. We showed you a clip where Love in 7-on-7 hit Musgrave over the middle, and now you're seeing Willis hit Musgrave on a crosser too. So Musgrave, we might be due for that leap we've been talking about with Musgrave for sure.
Speaking of Luke Musgrave, I'm sure Packers Socials has it somewhere, but after practice, him and Ben Sims were sharing a bike together riding back to the facility. If you want to see what two big tight ends look like riding a bike, these guys were hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
DJ in the chat says, I don't want to trade for a player who doesn't want to play out his contract. DJ, I don't have as much a problem with a player not wanting to play out his contract because just kind of how business works in the NFL. Teams, if we feel that way, then we got to feel that way about the teams cutting them loose before the contract's up too, right? I try to be fair in that regard. The thing I have a problem with, DJ, and it kind of goes hand in hand with what you're saying, could you guys imagine if we traded for Micah Parsons and all of a sudden he hits a cold spell where maybe a 4-game stretch where he's not playing great football and he's still doing that podcast every week? Could you imagine how fans are going to react to that? Because he's very vocal on that podcast. He stirred up a lot of stuff last year within the Cowboys, just making comments here or there. I want to say it was either last year or the year before he made a comment about Dak that kind of ruffled some feathers. Yep. Am I the only one that thinks Packer fans will get tired of that real quick too?
Yep. No, that's exactly it. I mean, I think Jerry's getting tired of that, Clay. I think they were talking on Love the Stars that Micah's the first kind of person that's really had a vocal platform that speaks out a kind of not against Jerry, but like against the actions that's going on with his contract. And it's something that Jerry hasn't really had to deal with before, is going ahead and processing that. And it's like, hey, we've already kind of lived that. Nothing against Aaron. I love Aaron, but that's true. Half of the time 30 minutes of the episode, we'd be talking about what was going on here, and there. It's like we can't even talk about, what we saw on the footwork that Matthew Golden's gone through or what D-line was working on. And it's just like those are the kind of things you miss out on.
No, I think it's a great point. And again, I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. Always have been, always will be. But I completely agree. There were times where it was like, can we just talk football for once? Like, let's just, let's just stick to football here. But so I understand where you're coming from there, DJ, and I do think fans would get – if he's playing great, they don't care, right? But as soon as you start to struggle – and it's funny you mentioned Jerry, Emilio, because Jerry's the one that runs his mouth down there, right? He ain't want nobody else to. He wants to be the center, the focal point, right? Like, I can just hear him. If anybody going to smack the bull in the ass, it's going to be me, not the player. You know what I mean? Like just something along those lines of him just constantly wanting to be in the limelight. But – yeah, and hearing Adam Schefter talk about it earlier today, he said he thinks it's more likely than not that they're headed for a divorce as opposed to working it out. He's saying it's still on the table. It could work out, but he thinks if he had to choose right now, he thinks they're probably going to part ways at some point. So, so we'll wrap it up with a little kicker talk here, free of charge, of course. Ryan Wood tweeted out, Packers kicker Mark McNamee. I feel confident that that's how you say it, guys. McNamee. All right. It's perfect on 6 kicks today. Extra point, 45-yard middle, 47 right hash, another extra point, 46 right hash, and then a 49-yarder on the left hash. Good bounce back day after Indy. So pretty cool there, man. Pretty cool that McNamee is as Brandon McManus is walking around on the sidelines with an official outfit on that McNamee's just over.
You think they put him under the goalpost?
Oh, that would have been perfect, Tim. Put McManus under there.
It's great to see this because when I was watching, they were on my side of the field for a while, and McNamee was there. The Irishman was there. Getting some McNamee. Okay, McNamee.
That's what we're going with today, anyway.
Yeah. Well, he was kicking left and right hash, backing up 5 yards in between reps, moving left to right hash, just by himself, kicking with the tripod. And then as soon as they brought Orzic over and Wheelan and started to snap, hold, and kick, he started missing. And I'm going, ooh, what is going on here? Is it something maybe with, he was kicking a ball on the tripod, no problem. But the minute there was a snap and hold, he started having a little bit of difficulty. So seeing Ryan Wood's tweet here, this makes me feel great. So he goes 6 for 6. So whatever he missed while he was warming up there, he must have figured out and took care of business when it mattered. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that can come down to even just the way that McManus wants it, right? Like he wants the ball tilted at a certain angle coming out of Dan's hand, catch it from Orzic, get Dan's hand here, plays it here, tilt it this far back when I'm kicking past 30 yards, anything like that. So maybe, McNamee probably hasn't gotten to that point of, hey, Dan, I want you to put it here, X, Y, and Z. I'm just going to run it how McManus wants it, and maybe it's just a different tilt for where I wanted it.
Right.
Yep.
All right, so we'll wrap it up with this. QB3, practice squad quarterback, right? I felt like Elgersma played well against Indy, me personally. And PFF disagreed wholeheartedly, right? Now, I know Sean Clifford had what proved to be the game winner on the zone read option. Pretty cool that they ran a zone read to win the ball game, right? But when you're looking at Elgersma versus Clifford, this is something that Clifford doesn't have. I want you to watch this clip. And unfortunately, this didn't count because of a penalty. But this is an absolute missile that Elgersma throws into double coverage, threads the needle to Ben Sims. So you see Ben Sims, he's lined up on the inside right here. If you can't see my cursor. Let me see here. Right here. That's Ben Sims, 89. So he's going to kind of run a skinny post, right? Watch Elgersma turn this thing loose, guys. And again, he's got a freaking cannon. Watch this. Set, let it rip. Look at that. Touchdown. And again, it didn't count because of the penalty. But when you see that kind of arm talent, they may carry both of them on the practice squad. I don't know. But I highly doubt it. Every day that goes by and the more tape I watch, I want Elgersma to be that practice squad guy. Now, will they do it? I don't know. I want to get y'all's take on it because, again, he's got to learn how to run an NFL offense. Obviously, the rules are much different in Canada. Yep. But, man, when you see stuff like this, you see why they wanted to get him in here. And you also see why the Cincinnati Bengals were trying to get him into their camp before the Packers got him into theirs. What do y'all think about this throw here, those big league?
I agree with what you said, Clay. I mean, kid's got a rocket for an arm. But if he's struggling to run the offense, it's going to be tough to justify, holding a spot on the roster for him, even if it is a practice squad spot. Those are valuable too. So, but he does have the advantage of being younger, and I believe he's probably the tallest quarterback on our team, right? So when you talk about vision, behind the line of scrimmage with these big guys, Taylor Elgersma is a big dude. Almost looks like he could play tight end if he wanted to. But clearly, man, he can let that thing fly. And it's like threading the needle is one thing, but like literally rendering the defense, batting the ball irrelevant is a whole nother thing. It's like I don't think that DB had any opportunity to even get a fingertip on that ball.
Right.
That's an absolute missile.
That's it, Tim. Chuck Jagger said it here. Somebody forgot to push Y. I'm telling you, that'll stress you right out when you're pressing it and it doesn't happen. But the Elgersma looks like me when I go 5 wide, Clay, and you always hit the tight end on the all verticals play.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Just wait for that safety to make a decision and just bullet that thing in there. But safety tried to make a play, comeback. But I love the arm strength there from the young guy.
See, I like to go empty 11 flex tray. And here's what I do. Is I like to go speed 1. Let's go left to right. 2x3 set. Okay.
Yep.
Speed, Matthew Golden. Right. And then you got Tucker Kraft in the 2 over there. And then you got 3 on the right. Speed to the 1 on the outside over there. So you force 2 on the shelf, or you're going to have an advantage with the speed deep, right? And then have those other guys, the 2 and the 3 on that side, working kind of the skinny post. And I got on a drag, a shallow cross. So If they go zone, they fan that thing out with a shell look, hit the top window to Tucker, get ready to load up that truck, stick on a DB, baby. That's what I love doing. So, and again, when you're coming out in 11 with that look, that forces them into a nickel set, and you've actually got a running back over there in the 2. So speed at each one, Tucker Craft with the yak and the trucking ability out of the 2 on the left, and then good possession catcher like a Romeo Dobbs in the 3 running the skinny post. So if they decide to go with a cover 2, let him clear the mock, hammer that thing in there. It just becomes a high-low read. You're either hitting the 3 on the skinny or you're hitting the 2, Tucker Craft, on the drag and just work it high-low. So
then right after that, you pressing Y like crazy, get the hurry up. Come on, let's go. Hurry up. Run the same play again.
No, don't hit the hurdle. You were saying hurry up. I got you. Yeah. So, yeah, and some of you guys are going, what if they go 2-man under with inside leverage? You just roll right and throw that thing into the 3rd row. Live to play another play because you're screwed. So, but anyway, all right, there's your Taylor Elgersma update on the day. I'm excited to see him again this week. And, Tim, it sounds like they're going to play our boy Malik Willis significant amount of snaps here in this game. Obviously, Jordan's not going to play. I want to say they're going to get the ones out there for a significant amount of time. I hope they play the ones a whole quarter. I know people are going to go, what if we have an injury? I could care less. Injuries are going to happen. We're to the point now. We got to get ready for the freaking season. Go out there, get your ones out there at least a quarter, and then feel good about where you're at. Get them off the field. Try to round out the bottom of this roster with some of those competitions there in the 2nd through the 4th quarter. What's your take on that? And we'll wrap up, Tim.
I agree with that. I'm just checking over here at the schedule. I mean, you've got that kind of mini bye between the last week of preseason here and then week 1. So yeah, if you get a little banged up, that's fine. I'd rather a guy have to, sit in the cold plunge a little longer and get ready for week 1 because he was playing in that last preseason game and he's, firing on all cylinders. You got to tune yourself up here. The whole point of a preseason and a training camp is to get ready for the real deal. And, if you're a starter and you're getting limited reps, I agree with your logic, Clayton. I think at least 1 quarter, if not, maybe even a little more. Maybe you bleed it into that 2nd quarter a little bit and start making your changes before half or something. I don't know. But I think the more reps, the better. And then especially when you think about even the 2s and the 3s, getting a chance to, run with the 1s as well, because that can help a young player in their development too, being able to get maybe a rep or 2, out there against the 1s, So I'm just hoping that they mix it up. But I'm with you, Clayton. We're playing football, right? It's a grown man's game. Everybody gets hurt.
Let's get it. We've played it safe long enough. Emilio, is my math correct? We're going to play on Saturday, and then we've got, will it be 15 days before
so Saturday the 23rd. Then you got the next weekend would be the 30th. That's a Saturday. Then that next weekend is the 6th. That's a Saturday. So that's 2 weeks. And then we're playing on the 7th. So yeah, you're right about 15 days. So I mean, it's a full bye for them. I mean, obviously they're still gonna have practice and everything, but you're gonna get cooled back off again after you go through this game. So it's about keeping that mental forward and paying attention to what's at stake is Lions at home. I mean, we got to show up ready to play. You got to protect this house from the beginning of 2025. I mean, we got to get off to a different start with our divisionals than we did last year. So I think that Matt's got to keep them, head to the grindstone these next 2 after this pregame or after this preseason game. They really need to keep the grind going.
Yeah, and I know we got kind of a short turnaround there with 2 of the best teams in the NFC in the Detroit Lions on Sunday. Then we play on a short week on Thursday. But look at the positive side, guys. We're playing at home both those games. Yeah. Right? So the guys are sleeping in their own bed. You know what I mean? Like it could be worse, right?
And Matt's probably spinning a little bit of the game plan in. Maybe it's the beginning of this coming week after the preseason game. He might put in a little bit for Washington at the beginning of this week, or maybe at the end of next week and say, hey, I just want to have this in early for that following week just so that we do have it. But here's our game plan for the Lions. Bing, bam, boom. Keep moving.
That's a real good test right out of the gate, right? Short week to kick off your season. I mean, thank goodness they're both at home, like Clayton said. It'd be crazy to have to go on the road on a short week like that. But I think we're going to find out real quick who this team is bright and early this year. It's going to be fun.
Completely agree. All right, guys, that's going to do it. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us, man. This was a lot of fun. I know we've got a lot of people that rolled through. Got a bunch of new viewers. The analytics are showing us if you guys love this type of content, hit like, hit subscribe, click that bell icon so you're notified every time we go live. We'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central Time for PTA Live. We'll be giving you all the latest on Green Bay Packers news and notes. And is there a practice tomorrow, Tim, by chance?
Yeah, but probably not public.
Okay, so it's going to be closed practice.
Joint practice Thursday, though. Yep.
Okay, got it. So there you go. Closed practice tomorrow. We should have updates, so we'll cover what happened in practice tomorrow and get everything ready to go for Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Sure.
To Donovan's question, I believe it's the 26th of August. So you get a couple days into that that first week of the 2-week bye there.
On the ticker. It should be on the ticker here.
Perfect.
Yep, Tuesday, August 26th. Yep.
There you go. And guys, we got football. We got high school football this week down here. Thursday night.
College, 4 college games this weekend too, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's week 0 in college. We got preseason NFL. We've got Jesse Nelson on the Wildy and Tout Show. I think they said they're going to be having a live broadcast of a Wisconsin high school game on Thursday night. So you got Thursday night high school football on ESPN. I believe it'll be ESPN Madison's YouTube channel. I love checking those out. Jesse and them do a great job calling those games. So we got high school football. It's just going to be awesome, man. We got Friday night rivals here this week, Emilio. It's going to be, where we went to the Redneck Brawl?
Yep.
That Coliseum there, or Freedom Hall. That's on campus. The football field we walked by, that's called Science Hill. Well, 2 of the best teams.
Kermit Field.
Kermit. Yeah, you're right. It was.
Yeah. So 2 of the best teams.
Yeah, in the area, you got Science Hill High School and you got Elizabethton. For those who don't know, Jason Witten played at Elizabethton High School. Charles Davis, the announcer, is originally from Elizabethton, but now Jason Witten's brother, Sean Witten, is the head coach there. So they travel up to Johnson City to play Science Hill. And it should be a good matchup. Here lately, it seems like Elizabethton is kind of dominated, but that'll be on local TV here on Friday night. So I may have a daddy soda or 2 and watch some high school football this weekend. That might just happen. So that being said, don't go to this dude's barber, okay? Whatever you do, stay away from that guy. And we will and stay away from this guy, too. He'll spit in your fries.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Can
I get a large –
Cry into your fries.
Yeah.
Yes, you will cry.
It's for a cop. Why'd you say that?